Hello, hello everyone! Happy Friday! How's it going? How are things? We got Jarlave in here. Jarlave, you are almost always the first person to comment in the chat whenever I fire up the chat. I'm always impressed. Tech Prof, good to see you. Mac Prince, hey, how's it going? Got Real Space 42 and Daniel Stream Viewer and Runny Cows. Welcome. Must be fast on those notifications. How's everybody doing? Hey, Robo Greg. So, we have a robot to build. I got the idea that we should build a robot that could wander the shop, and that not only could wander the shop, but that you could control over the internet. And so the plan today, I have been ordering a ton of stuff in the background, and the plan today is to dig into said stuff and figure out how it all fits together. However, so a good friend of mine, Robo Greg, runs a robotics company that Rev Robotics that supplies parts to First Robotics teams. So when he heard I was working on this, he said, "Oh my God, let me send you a whole bunch of stuff." So I had like gone off on my own, and he was like, no, like I'll send you a box. So underneath the table is a box full of robot parts, and then I have a few other things that I ordered, and we're gonna see how it all fits together. I am missing one thing still, which was something I was supposed to order, and I thought I did, and it's not here yet. So it's the actual motor controller. So this is the plan. Now, there's another piece to this, and I forgot to ping him. Hang on one sec. Let me ping Esden. Part of this is Esden's fault. One sec. Into the robot project on stream right now. I am not good about, I need to get better about warning people ahead of time whose stuff is gonna be in the stream. So we've got robot parts from Rev Robotics, from Greg, and forgot to get these out. And we have wheels from Esden. So Esden heard I was building a robot, and he was like, "Oh my God, I have the perfect wheels for you," which remains to be seen whether they are in fact perfect. Music is still too loud for me to talk over. Oops, sorry. Just trying to turn it down on my end. He sent me these monster Mecanum wheels, and what is interesting about these is that, so they have all these rollers on them that are 45 to the direction of turn, right? And these are just free spinning, and then you drive the actual hub. The interesting thing about these is you put 4 of them on the robot with 4 motors, and you can make the robot move in any direction you want, not just forward and backwards like you normally would, and not just, spinning it like you would spin a tank, but you can actually make it just track straight sideways, which feels pretty magical and seems pretty useful for a robot that's wandering around the shop on its own. Now, these are massive. And the shop is not very big. And because we were building around these wheels, I think we're gonna end up with something that's quite a bit larger and heavier and more powerful than what I had in mind. Which will be interesting. So, we'll see. I don't know if we're gonna use the Twitch API. What I was thinking was to use Remo.tv or something like it. This is like a framework for controlling robots over the internet by people that you don't necessarily entirely trust. So it's like it does some of the heavy lifting around authentication and just like, I don't know, making things a little bit more sane. So that's the initial plan. We might change that as we go along. I think having Twitch control it, like, I don't know how you would drive a robot with Twitch directly, just because there isn't enough buttons and stuff. But maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a way to do like a full screen overlay. I don't know yet. I know there are people that have streams that are robots that are controlled by chat, but it tends to be sort of very clunky. And I want it to be something that you can actually like properly explore with. So that's the current plan. Yeah. So I have a box full of Mecanum wheels we need to put together. This is the one that I fully assembled to make sure that I had more or less the right components, and I more or less do. I think I'm a little bit short on washers, but that's fine because we have lots of extra washers here. I have been building up my hardware stock. Hey, Obsidian, welcome. This stream, just warning in advance, this stream's not gonna be very long. It's gonna go about like an hour, and then I gotta clock out. I gotta take off. I got something to do this afternoon. Promises were made. So, what do I have? Let's see. Let's start with the most exciting box, which is from Red Robotics. So, Greg and I chatted a bit, and then he put together like a whole thing. So, let's see. Hex key. The distribution block. So this is in no particular order. Let me switch to this view. In no particular order, what is inside the box? So, power distribution block for, I imagine that we hook this up to the battery, and then we hook stuff that needs power up to this. Again, a lot of these parts are intended for high school first robotics teams, so keep that in mind as we're going through this stuff. I'm gonna adjust this camera slightly. So there's a bit of like an ecosystem sort of thing here. Power switch for when everything goes terribly wrong. We have 4 motor controllers, and the plan that Greg and I discussed. So I want to drive this thing with a Raspberry Pi for a couple reasons. I want it to be on Wi-Fi. I want it to have a camera. I would like it to do text speech so that the robot can talk to me when I'm in the shop. Because I think the robot's going to be on not just when I'm streaming. We'll have to see how that works out. But I like the idea of you all getting to like pop into the shop while I'm here doing other things. And we can interact a bit, but it's not like me, focusing on the stream the whole time. And then obviously we want to control motors and things. So I think the sum total of like those, the text-to-speech and the camera sort of lean me towards more of a Linux platform and less of a like embedded Arduino bare metal sort of situation. So, Raspberry Pi. Greg suggested an Adafruit servo hat on top of that, which is the thing that I forgot to order. I could have sworn I ordered it and I didn't. Or I can't find any record of having ordered it. And I just got an Adafruit shipment of tweezers that did not include it, and it's not on that order, so I don't know what I did, but I brain farted. So anyway, we have these, which are, my understanding is these are motor controllers that then will interface with the servo shield to control much higher amperage motors. So I don't know if Greg's still here, but he can correct me if I'm wrong about it. I'm thinking about that. And they have like they can handle sensors as well. Yep, Pt.1 controlled H-bridge motor controllers. Okay, yes. So yes. But the reason, Greg, the reason we can't plug the motors directly into the Adafruit shield is that it can't handle high enough amperage, right? I'm assuming that's true. Because the Pt.1 is actually coming from the shield, I would imagine. Cool. Yes, correct. Okay. And these will also handle, I think, will handle the quadrature, like, rotation sensor. Yeah, and the Raspberry Pi is bad at Pt.1, which is not surprising, because it's not bare metal like an Arduino is. So, you know, super timing specific stuff is not what a Pi is great at. We've got motion pattern spacers. This is spacers for the wheels, for mating the wheels to the motors. Cables, sensor cables. Oh, this is not from Greg, but Greg suggested this, which is just a buck converter to, because we're gonna run this on 12 volt sealed lead acid batteries. And so this will step down from 12 volts to 5 volts to run the Raspberry Pi and any other electronics we bolt onto this thing. So I can get it open. So this is just like from Amazon. Ooh, I can feel that green tea. I'm like quivering. This is the washer. I see your request for an anecdote. Let me get through this and then we'll do that. So yeah, so this is, you give it 12 volts and it'll give you 5 volts or USB, which is nice. USB power. Awesome. Okay. Do I need this? No. Why not LiPo? I don't know. I just, honestly, because a lot of the first robotics teams use sealed lead acid, I think for safety reasons. And so that seems reasonable. I don't really need to catch fire to the shop. These are Pt.1 cables, more cables, more cables. Pt.1 cable clips. Attaching cables to things. Oh, maybe attaching parts of the cable to each other so they don't pull apart. Whoop. All right. Yes. Joiner boards, this looks like for connecting to JST connectors. A nut driver. Also, this is not going to be a high current robot, so with sealed lead acid, you can get big car batteries. Yeah. Big car batteries, presumably. Oh, I see. Right. You can get big car batteries that last a really long time and can't necessarily put out as much current as LiPo, but we don't need that. So. Obsidian, I think LiPos are actually more energy dense, but you can get bigger car batteries and they're safer and easier to work with. We can always switch it over to LiPo, but I figured I'd go with tried and true. Yeah, I don't think the tribal government would appreciate me burning down the building. I've already burned down one apartment. I don't need to burn down a gymnasium, so. More cables. And then I'm kind of picking and choosing what we're looking at here. So I'm burying the lead though. Let's jump into, okay, so motors. I am very interested in checking this out. So this, let me zoom in. I know this is something that Greg has spent a lot of time speccing out and making cool and awesome. Greg's one of the people that, so I met Greg in China. I'm hanging out, drinking beer and eating barbecue with a lot of the open source hacker crowd. And he's honestly one of the people that I've learned the most from. He has a background in toy manufacturing, and he was just starting Rev when I first met him. And so he's designed and done a lot of the manufacturing engineering on everything we're looking at. And I know that this is something that a lot of work went into. So this is the motor kit for not just the motor, but all the planetary gears. So, and this is like a stackable, modifiable gear set. And I have no idea how this all fits together, but we're gonna find out. I could make you drool, Furfurite, with the details of Chinese barbecue. It's amazing. Big hunks of lamb on skewers. Awesome. All right. Good morning, James G. So let's see. We've got a bunch of different things here. We have various planetary gear cartridges. We have 5-to-1, 4-to-1, 3-to-1. This is hex output. So a lot of the Rev ecosystem is based on hex shafts, and I think this is a fairly common first robotics thing. I'm finding lots of things that have hex shafts. So like even the Mecanum wheels, these are bigger hex shafts, but this has a hex hole in it. So, oh man, I miss Shenzhen barbecue too, for a variety of reasons. Okay, so 5mm or 1/2-inch hex are really common, and I'm assuming this is 5mm. Check. I had to clean these calipers the other day. They got all weird. I think they got some metal dust in there and they were like not at all working. Yep, 5mm, spot on. All right, so let's open this up. I'm not gonna read any instructions or take much advice from Greg to start with. I'm just gonna plow into this. So I think, let's see. Big old motor plate. I think these just, I did see a picture of how this goes. I think that probably stacks there like so. And then you stack various cartridges on top of this. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. So there's planetary gears in there. Do you see the gears? There's like a planetary gear set. This just makes me want to take it apart. And then this stacks, so these gears here mesh with this single gear. Get them. There. And then the holes line up here, and you stack up whatever of these you want, and well, I like, you know, Obsidian, I like figuring things out, you know. I know Greg will tell me the answer, but you know, I want to plow into things. We gotta have some, you know, sense of adventure here. Oh, that's slick. So then that final one, I don't know if that probably doesn't give you any. That's probably 1-to-1. Yeah, that's 1-to-1, and so that gives you your hex shaft output there, and that fits on the end. And so you can stack these up. You can add as few as 0 or as many as all 3 to get you the gear ratio you want. So. I'm coming in. Are you saying I'm distractible, KWF? I resemble that statement. We might have to take one of these apart because it looks pretty cool at some point. But yeah, this is slick. So we're gonna have to figure out what gear ratio we want. And to some extent, like, I don't really know how to do it by the numbers because I don't know what actual RPMs we want. I know that I don't want this thing to be very fast because fast equals chaos, particularly with internet delay and inexperienced robot drivers and, you know, potential mischievousness, if not maliciousness. So, right, yeah, so yes, Greg is pointing out that the gear ratios multiply between the stages, so as you stack these up. But man, this is slick. I'm impressed, Greg. This is a very cool little setup. What I don't know, and this is something you can help me with, is am I supposed to bolt this thing on first and then stack gears on top of it? It looks like that's the case because there's no other bolt holes that match up with the bottom ones. Yes, okay. Hang on, let me get a tray. Woo. Glue this thing back on. I like these little magnetic parts trays like this for exactly the situation. These are stainless, I don't know. I think they're stainless, but regardless. This thing is magnetic, so if they're non-stainless, they'll... Oh no, they're not. They're... Some of them are stainless? I don't know. Regardless. Ambrose is up at the house today. It's snowing outside. This is what it looks like outside the shop door right now. And and so I don't know. I knew I wasn't gonna have very much time today, and when I bring him down, sometimes he occupies a lot of my time and attention, so I left him up at the house. So man, I'm loving having this little touch screen for switching cameras. It's really working out well. All right, so if I want to just quickly put this together in some fashion because I'm interested in seeing how it goes. Greg did give us a hex key here. I actually have a set of hex keys, but this is quite nice. So what do we have in terms of short screws? We have either these or these. Don't know which we're supposed to use. That's not the hex key for that. It'll work with these. Are these ones too long, Greg? Okay, screw up the motor. So I have to put the little ones in. Use the short ones. Are these the short ones or the really short ones with the button heads? The shortest of ones. There's like, yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe I haven't dug far enough. It's fine, I've got hex keys. I'll go get more hex keys. But it sounds like the shortest ones. Remusator, yeah, how's it going? Everything is good. We're working on building a telepresence robot to roam the shop that you can control over the internet. There will be more YouTube videos. I'm working on it. I've been kind of focusing on streaming the past few weeks and getting that going. I'm assuming these are all metric. There we go. Okay. Use the smallest ones. Hey, says the washer. I'm gonna go for not too much longer, like 45 minutes more, something like that. Trying to keep the stream to about an hour, but we might go a little bit longer than that. Yeah. So don't worry, there will be lots more robot stuff. So yeah, it'll be a short one today. Just because I've got commitments this afternoon, and it took me forever to get the stream going this morning. I just had all these little things I had to fix. So I'm still dialing in this window setup, and we've gotten to the boring and annoying part, which is just like there is little annoyances all around the shop. Did I drop a screw? Oh no, it's right in front of me. Okay. It's interesting. This is like feels like almost like a graphite sort of deal. What material is this, Greg? Or a dark gray on the outside, and why? Why not just sintered steel? Oh, like laser sintered steel? Why use this? Why not? I don't know. Why not machined or compression centered? Oh. So casted and then centered? Or is it machined? Huh. All right, this is the 5-to-1. So I'm gonna just do a simple stack up of one set here, just to see how this works. Oh, that's sick. Like, and then, oh, and these are plastic here. So, okay, look, go watch. Oh, this is the centering metal process. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me put this on the other monitor, and we'll quickly look at this, because everybody loves manufacturing videos. Oh. This is cool. Yeah, the horrible how it's made techno music. I've got the video muted. Interesting. And then is it baked after this? Pressed and ejected. And then what happens? Yes, we got that part. Yes, and then baked. And so it sort of slumps it, like melts together. Very cool. Well, buddy, thank you for the hydration reminder. Cheers. Oh. There is a fair amount of grease on the planetaries, so I'm not super worried about that. Wow, it looks like we've got a lot of people in here that have used Rev motors. That, or we've got, oh, maybe we have some other Rev Robotics employees in here too. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna turn this off. Oh, interesting. Cheaper than machining. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It looks like you can bang parts out pretty quickly on it. So it looks like now we just throw bolts in here all the way around, and we're good to go. Oh, nice. Nice eraser restraint. Definitely. I know we had some first folks in here on the stream that I did where I was sort of thinking about how this is all going to fit together. Oh, hey, David. Awesome. We've got David's the other co-founder of Rev. I think I've got that right. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But my understanding. David's more on the electrical side, if I'm remembering properly. Oh, awesome. James, we got James in here. Senior in FRC. Sweet. Am I doing this right, Greg and David? Or have I done something horribly wrong? Okay, I'm good. Sweet. Haven't done anything horribly misguided yet. Okay. So we'll fiddle around with this. I just wanted to sort of see how this all fits together. That's very cool. And then it looks like, so this whole deal turns, and then we throw a hex shaft in here, and then we got these little itty bitty set screws. And those go in the side here, and those hold onto the shaft for a minute. Out, so. make sure I have the right, I think Greg sent me a coupler to couple from this to the Mecanum wheels that I have. Oh, you can also bolt things right to the face of the gearbox. So these holes here. So that would be the set screw approach here like this. Let me just type this in. So now that's locked in there and we can throw a wheel over the top of that. The other option we have is, so Greg, when I talked to Greg, he was like, oh my God, those wheels are enormous. You're not gonna have success with those. But I was like, Esden gave them to me. I have to at least try and use them. So Esden sent them all the way across the country. But Greg has also sent some different wheels. So we have a set of these here and a set of Omni wheels, which are, instead of the Mecanum wheels, which are 45s, these are 90s for the rollers. And I don't quite understand how these work, but it's the same idea. Like you can spin them and you can move in any direction you want. Yes, I'm getting there, Greg. Don't worry. Don't worry. So we've got a set of Omni wheels, and then we have another set of Mecanum wheels that Rev makes. So these are smaller. And so this is all good because all of this stuff is like more the size of the robot I was thinking of making before Esden was like, I have the perfect wheels for you. Esden wheels are more like, let's wreck everything in the shop and knock it all over, right? So like, I'm a little bit, and these are like hefty, right? These are, I don't know, half a pound a piece. So we'll see. I don't know. I am glad we have options, and I'm glad that we can scale this thing down if we need to. So, yes. So wheels. And then that's our wheels options. I'm gonna put this back. So you see it. Okay, I'm gonna make sure not to lose all of these parts. We're gonna need all this stuff later. This motor, okay. Got it. This is very exciting. Okay, so we'll go there, here. Okay, these are, I believe, what Greg was talking about in terms of the other. Oh, these. I don't know. Oh, these are to adapt a hex shaft to various bolt patterns in terms of other wheels. Not these, yeah. But these are for like, I don't know what these are for. These are for bolting things to hex shafts, right? So perforate, I don't really know. I think Remo TV like divides up time. Oops, I put the wrong one. So I think Remo TV handles that. Oh, these go on the Mecanum wheels. Okay. Cool. Okay. Now, we have all important motor mounts here. So this is for that. So we bolt this. Yeah, that's got matching bolt holes. And then this will get mounted down to the robot, to the platform. And we'll get to that. I ordered something thinking that I knew what I was doing, and now I am less certain that I know what I am doing, and that maybe I have made an error. So we have motor mounts. And then we're getting down to the bottom. We have 3 more motors in there. And then we have, oh, just hex screws, sweet. Hex screws, hex nuts, bolting stuff together. And then, oh, these are adapters to go from, let's see, I get this. These are, so we can bolt these to the front of the motor shaft, like so. And then they fit into a 1/2 inch hole on the giant wheels. Well, they will fit with a little convincing, a little persuasion. And then they have a bolt hole in the end of them to bolt the whole thing on. So we'll run a bolt from the other side down through. So, cheers for the hydration reminders, guys. Thank you. Well, I'm out of tea. Something to drink while we're doing this.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our way, but
cheers. I still haven't forgotten you, Sizzle Washer. I don't know if you're still here, but we will do an anecdote or a bit of trivia. Yeah, y'all are trying to drown me now. You're worried about the tolerances of this hub? Yeah. It does seem like a tight fit. I mean, we can shave some stuff out. Let's see what this actually is. We should be, I don't know, something's wacky. There's some little burr or something. We'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about that being the, but boy, it doesn't fit on either side. It'll go. We'll figure it out. That's within the realm of filing or grinding or something. So, yeah. But I think we have the necessary implements of destruction here. So I think the way this will end up stacking up with the big wheels is we'll bolt this on here. These guys will go in the motor brackets, and then we'll throw, you know, we'll grind stuff down to get the wheel on there, and we'll be in business. That looks pretty good. Awesome. Yeah, small file should do it. Okay, cool. You guys are trying to drown me. I need to get more things that you can spend those points on. Soon. It would be cool if you can spend channel points to drive the robot for a while during the stream. I don't know exactly how that will work yet, but maybe it will, I don't know. We'll figure it out. DM you a code or something. I'm not sure. Okay. And then there are 3 more motor kits in here. It's wider. Okay, so what else do we have? Batteries. Here, I alluded to those previously. I got some cheap sealed lead acid batteries. These are like for motorcycles, I think. So 12 volts, not super hefty, you know, not car battery sized, but, you know, chunky nonetheless. So 7 amp hour. Do not short circuit. Do not charge in a sealed container. Keep away from sparks and flames. Rechargeable. So, thanks, Box Kid. I don't really know. I mean, I'm hydrating as much as I can. Yeah, there is a restroom just around that corner. So, seeing as this is this shop is a converted men's locker room from the Peak East Gymnasium, there are toilets nearby. Not to worry. You are making me click lots of checkboxes. Cheers. ADSR Thug is saying, that can be done by parsing the chat with a bot. We were triggering slices of the Amen break in Ableton. Okay. So the issue is that what I want you to be able to spend channel points to like unlock a code or something to authenticate you on a separate web page so that you can drive the robot. And I don't quite know how to do that yet, but we will think of something. Yeah, right. This is a 7 amp hour battery. And so, of course, if we're gonna have a battery, we need to be able to charge it. So I got a charger. And honestly, I've never really like messed with bare batteries like this before. So that'll be a little bit of an adventure. I will read the instructions, I think, is where I'm at. And then, so I got 2 batteries, so that I actually have 4 batteries in theory, but 2 got lost in the mail, and I don't quite know what happened. I know they got delivered, and I don't know where they disappeared to. So, one of the downsides of a complex mail delivery system out here in the boondocks. Yeah, razor restraint. Yeah, that was my feeling. Is like sealed lead acid are pretty safe and easy to deal with, and we don't have to worry about, you know, overcharging or spicy pillows or anything like that. So, okay. Here we are down to the last thing. And I need space for this. This is where I potentially have made a mistake, but we'll fix it one way or another. We need an actual body of the robot. And so I decided that, well, it could just be, you know, a sheet of aluminum. But I may have gotten overly ambitious about exactly how thick it needed to be. This is not light. So I forget what I ordered. I think this is like, I don't know. I don't know how thick it is. We'll have to see. Judging by Greg's reaction, I may have made an error. I just figured if I had, you know, a rectangle of aluminum plate, I could just bolt everything to it and not worry about it. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get this open. There are actually 2 plates here. This is not a single sheet, but it's not light either. I did do some calculations, but minimal calculations. But you know, this is strange parts. We like learning through trial and error. And I think there's some error. Okay. So it's still pretty heavy. I'm gonna cut it down. But the reality is that these Mecanum wheels are pretty enormous, right? So my thought is that we make it, I need 2. Not all of them are in. These are sort of half assembled, but like that. So we'll probably end up cutting this in half. That's armor plating. Yes, it is armor plating. I only plan to use 1 sheet of this. So yeah, like yay. So it probably means cutting it about here. Somewhere about here-ish. Check that again. Yeah, well, like I said, these wheels kind of set the tone for this whole thing, you know? Things have gotten a little wild. Something like that. Let's get these I mean, I figured I'd just drill and tap this thing and be done with it. We're not going for elegant necessarily. We're going for, you know, shenanigans. Yeah, that'll work. So I figure we just do that, and then on both sides. That's a reasonable plan. Okay. How much? I want to know how much lighter this is going to get. Okay, 24 inches. So it's going to be about 11 inches when we're done. I might cut it to 12 just for round number's sake. And do it for, so yay. So it should be about half as heavy. It'll be all right. It'll be a little chunky, but you know, we can refine it over time. About 30 centimeters, Sander. So 30 centimeters this way. 30 centimeters is about a foot, which is 12 inches. And then we've got, yeah, it's 12 inches the other way. So I think we'll just end up cutting it 12 by 12 and declare victory. And I suspect what's gonna happen, my guess, is that we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna build this up, and it's just gonna be like this battering ram that's running around the shop wild, and we're gonna have to scale it back a little. But I figured we'd start with ridiculous and work our way back towards sane, because that's more entertaining. So about yay by yay. Yeah. Rubber bumpers. Yeah. Cryogi. I would normally cut this with like a bandsaw if I had one, but I don't. So I have a jigsaw, and I was gonna throw some metal cutting blades on it and go to town. Yeah. Like I wish I had more time. I only have a few more minutes today, unfortunately. But I think what we're gonna do is just cut this and probably drill and tap, because tapping is fun. And then duas garotas y un copo. I'm a little bit nervous to Google things in other languages. Is there a mod in here? That is not. Yeah, I figured out what it was. Not okay. Yep. Let's delete NBAN. That's not okay. Okay. Dealt with. Close that. Okay. Taken care of. Is there anything else there? Okay. So this is my thinking. This is not all fully in frame, but that way. I wonder though if we want to be a little bit shallower. What I don't know is if I mean, obviously we don't want the wheels to hit each other. I don't know if there's any, if we make it too narrow, it'll be tippy, and that won't be good. But I don't know if there's any benefit to this having this be square versus rectangular from a like macadam wheels perspective. Yeah. I think having it be narrower will just be good. Oh, let's add a battery to this equation. Where's the battery gonna live? So you can't live there because the motors are gonna live there. Yeah, it'll definitely be wide. I'm okay with it being, like, I was kind of shooting for like, you know, decent sized RC car size for this thing. So like, that could fit there. We need room for the electronics. I want it to be small enough that it can kind of navigate around the shop and is not going to get stuck on a lot of things. There's not a ton of open floor space. There's some, but yeah, I want it to be able to kind of go around. There are areas to explore off camera that you can't see right now. We'll see. I don't know if I'll restrict it from going around the corner. I think I won't. There's nothing super secret back there. It's just like storage and stuff, but it's kind of cool. I will have some room on the bottom, but that's probably asking for trouble in terms of like getting stuff snagged and things. Left hand. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna measure this all out and get it square and everything. I'm just kind of just sort of fiddling with this right now. I think if I do that, then I can place the battery. I obviously like won't, let's see. I mean, this area here is going to be pretty well taken up. Oh, I guess I need to think about how many, what's the gear stack up going to be? Because that could put us out a fair bit further, which might dictate how the spacing here. So maybe I will build this so that we can stack them all the way up, and then we can figure out exactly what we want. Yeah. The bigger it is, the more dog-proof it is. That is true. And I don't know what he's going to do with this. He's not super predictable in terms of what he's afraid of and what he's not. He doesn't like the angle grinder because he doesn't like getting hit by sparks. And he's definitely weirded out by the like air gun, the compressor air gun. But there are other things where I'm like, dude, you're right next to me and I'm like running a shop vac and you have no problem. So yeah, I don't know if this will dispense treats. I would like to make a treat dispenser. If this thing dispenses, I don't know. That is an interesting thought, Nosh. Yeah, the dog's not here right now, or I would introduce him to the piece of metal. I think his default, anytime I like show him something, his default is it must be food. Because why would you be interested in it if it's not food? Which gives you some insight into his psyche about what he's interested in. He is the most food motivated dog I have ever met. He gets like, his intelligence doubles if there's a treat in your hand. Yeah, if you want to design a treat dispenser for Ferrite, that would be awesome. I have met dogs that are more praise driven and more interested in things like playing and being praised and getting affection. Ambrose is okay with those, but food is by far his favorite thing. It's no contest. Craigie, when the robot gets bit, it dispenses chaff. I was thinking you were saying bits like Twitch bits, but no, you're saying like it dispenses chaff as a distraction. I like that. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're still thinking. Let's see. Let me get out some more motor. A second motor, and let's pull this off, and we'll at least figure out how big the plate is. Am I gonna put a pole on the robot to support a camera or a screen? I don't think so. I want to keep it relatively low. There is gonna be a camera, but it will only be, you know, maybe a few inches above this, like not very high. So Qzo, thank you for all the hydration reminders. Cheers. I need to give you guys something else to spend channel points on. Okay. Yes, an ankle cam. Exactly, Greg. Because I feel like if I add a mast, it's really going to restrict where the robot can go, and I don't want to do that. But, you know. Thanks, Space Fan. I am doing all right. I'm doing as well as could be expected, given all of this mayhem. But, you know, this is a hard year. It's a hard year for everybody. And I have definitely had my rough spots where I've felt directionless and just, I don't know, pandemic overwhelm, you know, the I was talking with Patrick yesterday, who's one of the mods, and I was just saying, you know, he was saying like everybody's sort of dealing with pandemic brain fog. I definitely feel that. So yeah. All right, let's look. So if we add all the things on here, we stack up all of these planetary gears, we might end up doing. How big are the treats? I don't have any here, but it's dog food that is roughly, let's call it roughly, I don't know, 10 to 12 millimeters cubed, let's say. Some stuff is smaller than that, but not a lot smaller. Or it'll be like flatter, but not a lot smaller than that. Let's call it 11 millimeters cubed. Yeah, Nosh, I think a lot of people I know have been sort of trying to figure out, okay, how do I find a project or something to sink my teeth into that isn't just work, that sort of, you know, helps me occupy my mind and feel, I don't know, feel some level of like purpose and motivation. I think, you know, a lot of the things that we all used to, you know, use our time to do are just not possible right now. And so it's been a bit of a scramble to sort of figure that out. I mean, for me, you know, I was traveling a lot, and I was, you know, shooting a lot of very cool videos, and a lot of that went out the window when the pandemic hit. So, you know, it's been a good portion of the year has been figuring out, okay, what now? And like, how do I just get that flywheel momentum going again, which I finally am starting to feel with, you know, the shop all built out and stuff, but it's taken a long time. Okay, I'm not gonna put bolts in this because I think it'll stay enough for me to just figure out how this fits together right now. This is a very slick motor kit, guys. Well done, Greg and David. You should be very proud of this. This is very cool. So that goes here, like so. And then let's pop open another one. Stack it all up. Oh no, Nosh. Did you have a coffee mug made? Like, did you design something, or? That's the worst. When you're like eagerly awaiting something and it arrives broken or damaged, or it gets lost, or. Yeah, was it like 3D printed or a 2D design on it? I heard recently, it used to be that Shapeways would do 3D printed ceramic, and I guess they've stopped doing that. What am I doing? This is not on there. Let's see, this goes in here. And then stack gears on top of it. Did a bunch of art and used that website everyone uses to order some items with it printed on it. Oh, I see. Okay, so it was like 2D. It's like Cafe Press or something. And you can mention the website. I don't really care, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I did not tell the anecdote. I was about to. I was trying to think of something. I'm trying to think if I have a good anecdote that involves Greg, but I think has immediately leapt to mind. Trying to think if I have a good China anecdote. Oh, I have a good anecdote. It happened this morning. So it snowed here. This is what it currently looks like. I guess it's snowing at the moment. This is right outside the shop door. That's my truck. And I was driving down to the shop. This is like an hour or two ago. And I stopped because I wanted to take some video of two horses that have a little tiny paddock on my drive down. And they're kind of like up on a hill, and it's very picturesque. And so I hopped out of the truck. I left the truck running and hopped out with the camera, and I took a little bit of footage, and then I was like, I really need an ND filter because it's pretty bright out, or was pretty bright out, and I wanted to stop the lens down and get some, you know, atmospheric stuff for, like, I don't know, a little montage in an upcoming video. And I don't quite know how I'm gonna use it yet. And so I went back to the truck, and I realized that I'd locked myself out with the truck running and the keys inside. And so I pulled out my phone and I was like, oh man, like, I need someone to bring me the spare key to the truck. And I didn't have any internet. And so I ended up having to, like, walk back up the road until I had internet access. And someone came down and rescued me with the spare key. I did not run out of gas. But I realized I was, like, standing out there in this and just this, and it's like, it's about freezing out. And I was like, this could be really bad. You know, I was about to walk back up to the house, which is probably, I don't know, a 15-minute walk each way and get the spare key. But hey, Esden! Esden is one who sent me the giant mecanum wheels that we're going to use to build our, you know, shop telepresence battle bot. So let's see how I've got this motor together now. Esden, thank you again for these wheels. Yes, Nosh, it is a good argument for magnetic key storage. I might think about that. It's always, you know, it's always a double-edged sword, right? Because as soon as you have one of those magnetic things, somebody else can get into your truck too. But yeah, there are complicating factors I won't go into around that. Yeah, I might put a key in my wallet. Something I've done in the past. Although I don't have my wallet with me today either, so. Because what am I gonna buy on the res? There are no shops here, and we're not allowed to leave except on Tuesdays and Thursdays now because of the pandemic. So, so I could make this a bit shorter, bit narrower. Obviously I don't want to bump these right up against each other because there's wires and stuff sticking out. But, like, I don't know, yay much. That looks pretty good. Or we could go all the way out. I think we'll go there-ish. And then get it to some sort of round number. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Nosh. There we go. ADSR Thug, that's a good question. What is this robot gonna be called? Do people have any ideas? Sorry for leaving it on the snow cam for so long. Oh yeah, several people were, and I'm just not reading the chat. Off in my own little... I am at elevation, Esden. I'm at like 7,500 feet-ish. So, we're not actually that far north. We're like northern New Mexico, but very high. Ooh! A 3D printed dog treat dispenser. Here, let me bring this over so y'all can see it. I still don't have screen sharing working on the Mac yet. It makes the audio weird for reasons I do not understand. Come on, copy. I don't know why this is not pasting. You have to do it with the keyboard? Yes, I have to do it with the keyboard. Okay. This could be cool. It also might be mayhem. Let's see. Where do I... Here. So this is what Furfurite just posted. What is the motor on it? And do I have one of those? Servo stand. Oh, this is from NYC CNC, which is an awesome CNC machining YouTube channel. Does not say what servo it is. I can't quite see it. But it is a servo. Servo with like some sort of round plate on the front. I'm sure we can figure that out. Oh, it's got a gear fitting. We can figure that out. Yeah. Might require minor modifications, but this seems like it's got potential. Cool. Nifty. Edson, yes, I did check that I have all the parts for the wheels. I might be missing a few washers, but it's no big deal. I've got tons of washers here, so we'll figure it out. But yes, I think I've got everything I need. DJ Marlis, yes. Too much attention from Ambrose could be fatal to anybody. Okay, so right now we're at about 10.5 inches wide, which I think is probably good. Let's declare that success. And I have plenty of extra plate, so if I really screw this up, it'll be okay. So that's gonna be our mark. Cool. Excited. Oh no, I got all the rollers. Yeah, I'm good, Desmond. We're in good shape. I don't know if you were here. I don't know when you joined, but Greg from Rev Robotics is a good friend of mine. Sent us. They have their own Mecanum wheels, so they sent us. He sent us some much smaller wheels. So we've got options. We've got these. We've got these. We've got Omni wheels, and we have Mecanum wheels here. It's much smaller Mecanum wheels. Let me pull these out. So we have options. Yes, these are tiny. Greg thinks we're kind of ridiculous for these giant wheels, which, I mean, I do too, but, you know, sometimes you got to embrace ridiculousness. So somehow, some way, we will build a thing that works. We're definitely starting with these because I know you went out of your way to ship me giant, ridiculous wheels. So, I'm just a little bit worried about how much mass this thing is going to have as it flies across the shop floor. All right. I need to start winding down here. I have commitments this afternoon I have to get to. I was hoping to stream longer today. I'm very excited to cut this plate and start bolting things onto it and driving things. We're still waiting on a motor controller, so we can't make it drive just yet, but we have Mecanum wheels to put together. We have plate to cut. We can bolt some stuff to things, tap some holes. It's gonna be good. So I think I'm gonna try and stream tomorrow morning. Because I have commitments tomorrow afternoon as well, which is unfortunate. I'm working on putting together like a streaming schedule, which is intimidating, but that's a thing that will eventually happen, I think. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, it will happen Sunday, and I plan on putting in a bunch of time on Sunday. So we'll do a big long all the robot things stream on Sunday. I don't know if we'll quite get to the point of getting motors to spin, but we'll get stuff bolted on here and figured out. Yeah, let's see what else is going on. Oh, let's jump in on Oh Bother. What is Oh Bother up to? Something interesting. If you don't already know, Oh Bother is an awesome streamer who does a lot of electronic stuff. He's been working on some hardline water cooling for his streaming PC, for a rack-mounted PC, but it looks like he's taken stuff apart. So we're gonna pop in there and say hi to him, and hopefully you guys stick around and check him out. He's a really nice dude. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow, if not on Sunday. See you soon. Stay safe.